Ty Gibbs had the fastest car at Sonoma, pole position, 31 laps led. He was the class of the field all afternoon. He finished third. His own team made sure of it. Here is the question that's tearing through the JGR camp right now. When your driver is fast enough to win, do you let him race for it, or do you make him bank points instead? Denny Hamlin doesn't have a clean answer, and after Sonoma, he's not pretending he does. This isn't a story about a bad Sunday. It's about a rulebook that changed everything back in January. NASCAR blew up the old playoff format. No more win and you're in. The chase is back. Top 16 in points after race 26 make the postseason. Where you finish the regular season decides your starting hand once you get there. That single rule change rewired how teams think every week. Sonoma just proved it. Crew chief Tyler Allen made the call early. Instead of pitting Gibbs to flip the field for the restarts, which would have put him up front with a real shot at the win, they kept him out through both stage breaks. On purpose. Gibbs swept the stages. 20 points banked before the race was even decided. Then he pitted, fell deep into traffic, and had to drive back to the field to salvage third. Final tally, 54 points. Second best number in the entire field, trailing only Shane Van Gisbergen. On paper, it worked. Gibbs jumped Kyle Larson in the standings. He's fourth overall now. He sits 188 points clear of the chase bubble. But Denny Hamlin is still picking at the other side of that decision. The 54 ran those guys down from quite a ways back, Hamlin said on Actions Detrimental. Every time they didn't flip the stages, he was restarting somewhere in the teens. Restarting in the teens. Every single time. And still clawing back to third. Hamlin went further. He said when you actually look at the lap times, it wasn't Chase Briscoe's number 19 that had the speed to run down Shane Van Gisbergen. It was Gibbs. Now to the math on what got left on the table. A win in 2026 pays 55 base points. Third place paid 34. Add stage points on top of a win, and Gibbs could have been staring at 65 plus for the day. Instead, JGR gave up points to protect points. That's the contradiction sitting at the center of this whole thing. Hamlin understands why. He said it himself. It's definitely difficult when you know you have race-winning speed to just take the points, he said. I get both sides. I definitely understand the team's decision, but I also understand Ty's feeling of, hey, give me a shot at him. I can beat him. Give me a shot at him. That's not a crew chief talking. That's a driver who believes he had the car to win and watched the strategy sheet decide otherwise. Hamlin didn't let the bigger point go either. They're in a unique spot because, to date, nobody has really outrun Shane, he said. So you're just going to make the assumption that you're going to be the first? Well, Ty is probably one of the best candidates to actually do it. Nobody has beaten Shane Van Gisbergen straight up all year. And the one guy Hamlin thinks might have had the speed to do it just got pulled off the attack to bank points instead. That's Ty Gibbs' Sonoma, fastest car, smartest points day. And a question about what might have been that isn't going away. Denny Hamlin's own Sunday was a completely different kind of chaos. Lap 64, turn 7, restart. Bowman gets into Keselowski. Keselowski gets shoved into Carson Hocevar. Hocevar comes back into the rear of Hamlin's number 11. 2 seconds. That's all it took. Hamlin spins into the dirt, drops to last place. Just like that, his day is in survival mode. The front splitter took damage. The handling was compromised for the rest of the afternoon. He had to dig his way back from the rear of the field all the way to 26th. Not the finish he needed. Not even close. Then the race did something strange. Tyler Reddick's power steering failed late. He finished dead last behind Hamlin. Denny Hamlin left Sonoma leading the championship by exactly 1 point, 7-1 to 7-18. A wreck that dropped him to 26th. A rival's mechanical failure that saved his day, and somehow he's still on top of the points. But here's where it gets more interesting than the finishing position. During the week, Hamlin sat down and watched the onboard footage, specifically from Bowman's car, and a picture of what actually happened in turn 7 got a lot clearer. Carson Hocevar didn't hook him. He wasn't the instigator. He was the last car in a chain reaction that started 2 cars ahead of him. Hamlin said it plainly on the podcast. I think that it's always very easy to blame the car directly behind you, he said. And yes, Carson could have done a better job. That's not a driver protecting a rival out of politeness. That's a driver who watched the tape and revised his own read on what happened. while still leaving room for Hocevar to own his part in it. So here's where Sonoma leaves the 11 team and the whole JGR stable. One race, two completely different stories under the same tent. Ty Gibbs had the car to beat Shane van Gisbergen, maybe the best car in the field to do it, and his own team pulled him off that mission to protect a points cushion that's now sitting at 188. Denny Hamlin got collected in a wreck that wasn't his fault, dropped to 26, and still walked out of California leading the championship by one single point. Here's the takeaway that matters most. This new chase format is already forcing teams to choose between winning now and surviving later, and JGR made that choice for Gibbs before he ever got the chance to make it himself. The angle you might not be thinking about: if nobody beat Shane van Gisbergen between now and the cutoff, and Gibbs was genuinely the fastest car on track at Sonoma, this could be the race JGR looks back on and wonders what they gave up. So here's the question worth sitting with: was holding Gibbs back the smart, disciplined move that wins a championship in November? Or did JGR just watch their best shot at beating Shane van Gisbergen, drive right past them, and settle for points instead? If you want to see how this plays out between Gibbs, Hamlin, and the rest of that JGR shop as the chase cutoff gets closer, hit subscribe and turn on notifications, because this fight inside one team is just getting started.